Hey guys, hope everyone is doing good. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will talk about skin rendering in detail, especially for the beginners. And here I will share a few tips with you guys using which you can make your illustrations very impactful, which means bringing more contrast and bringing more depth to the overall illustration. And this is actually very easy, and you just need few color combinations and good amount of shading for your skin tone and overall illustration, and this will make your illustration very eye catching. Now especially for beginners who are struggling with skin rendering, you can choose any easy medium up to you, like markers or pencil colors. So guys, we will start with the base color. Now for doing the base color, you can do it with watercolor. Like here I have shown with watercolor. You can mix two shades. The burnt sienna and the yellow ochre color is very common and easily available. You can use it for doing the base. You can also use a marker from a yellowish to brownish color family, and doing the base we have created our first layer. Now if you are using watercolor guys, you can create multiple layers. Like here you can see I'm doing little bit shading with the same color, and we can also do the layer for the hair as well. So this technique you can use either with watercolor, poster color, or with markers, where we work only with the base. Now for beginners or for someone who want to create more impactful illustration, I can suggest that for your base, go with a more prominent colors rather than just pencil color. If you are doing a pencil color blending, then that's a different altogether, because that is totally up to the blending properties. But if your pencil color is not good enough, it will not be very effective for doing the skin tone just using the pencil color. So personally I love to do mixed media kind of work on my skin tone and overall illustration also guys. Like if you have seen my previous tutorials and most of my works on Instagram, you will see that how I love to do mixed media work, that is using watercolors or markers or maybe brush pens for the base, and then definitely using the pencil colors or charcoal colors or any kind of dark intense color over it to create that depth. So if you want to begin with watercolor, I think it's a very good option because it's a very good medium to manipulate easily. You can make lots of layers and play around by mixing colors, increasing the contrast and bringing so much of depth. So I think watercolor is one of the most interesting medium to work with. So here you can see guys how I have created lots of layers over this illustration using my watercolor. Now one thing is, you have to wait in between. When you are working with watercolor, the paper has to be from a range which is suitable for your watercolor illustrations. You can go for hot pressed or cold pressed watercolors paper, and if you want to know more about papers and about the other illustration tools, I will be sharing all the links down in the description box below. You can go and check out. It will be very useful for everybody, especially if you are just about to start your illustration journey or you are planning to invest on papers. So yes, definitely check out the paper video and the videos on other tutorials as well. Now here see guys, my watercolor base is complete and I have given it enough time so that it's dry completely. Over it I'm using the pencil color to bring in the ultimate depth, and this is a very useful technique because you just need to do your base. That you can do either with watercolor if you are comfortable with watercolor, or you can simply take any marker. Now I think marker is another very interesting medium because it's quite useful for beginners if you are struggling with watercolor brush, and it also gives a very smooth base without much trouble. So yes, definitely you can use your markers also, the alcohol markers, and over it do try this guys, like using a darker color pencil. You can also use mix of two color pencils and blend it, especially around the sides. So I think this is very easy to bring in the ultimate contrast. Now see guys, you can use dark brown colors like black colors. Normally I don't use black much in my skin tone rendering, but if it's like a dark brown and chocolatey brown type of skin tone I'm doing, so definitely the black will bring in more contrast and depth in the overall rendering. So very often I get this questions that why my illustration is looking very faded, or why it's not looking much bright, or why the illustration is not looking very impactful. So I think the common problem would be not giving the proper shading to our colors. Like when you are using pencil colors, you are using it very softly, that the total intensity of the color is not visible. Or if you are using watercolor, the watercolor is very faded, it's like more kind of little washed out, and you are not using that proper shading to it. So guys, using your colors in the proper manner, like bringing the best out of it, is important to bring that nice contrast, or you can tell that it's very impactful, right? So when you look at the illustration, it should be very eye catching, and it should be able to hold the attention of the viewers. So this few techniques which I'm sharing with you at this point is like using more of the blackish type of color, like the dark brown type of color. Use pressure when you are blending with your pencil color, so that you get that smooth nice finish with your pencil color. So here, coming at the jewelries, again I will be using watercolors only, because in this tiny space, like I'm doing the 10 head croquis, or if you are doing it on A4 size paper, you know that when you are making the jewelries, it's not very in a large portion that you give so much of detail on the jewelry, but still you want to make it very detailed and apply that nice shine to it, like it's very shiny or that nice gold look. So here also guys, the technique would be to leave that little whitish portion in the center, so that it looks very shiny and reflective. If you miss out giving that white portion, you can later use any golden color pen, or maybe white gel pen, to put that little bling effect. But normally if you leave that little whitish portion, it looks more natural, especially if you are doing any kind of shiny reflective jewelry like smooth gold or silver jewelries kind of look. So here you can see I'm adding the layer of colors, like you can start with yellows, browns, and then add little black to it, so that the jewelries also look more impactful, like lots of shading and colors are visible in that little piece of jewelry. You don't need to give very exact shape, you can just use some dots and lines, and you know, those strokes of the brush. Overall it will give you that nice rustic watercolory effect to the jewelries also. Like here you can see I'm building that little depth at the end with a fine liner using that black color. So guys, you can see as I'm adding more black to it, how the jewelries have started taking more shape and it's looking more defined at this point of view. Like you can add all that details and those shade, and when you add lots of black shade, it looks more vibrant or more eye-catching. This is what I feel. Now the same technique applies to your pencil blending also, to your watercolor rendering also. So you can check out my previous videos also, and you can judge by yourself and try by yourself and see which one you are more comfortable with. So do let me know in the comments below that how you are enjoying my tutorials. Do try them out and share with me, and tag me and use the hashtag artstudio.srabani. I always love seeing your recreations and the artworks. And also you can comment that what other type of tutorials you would love to see on the channel, and do recommend me other type of mediums to try. I mean, if you want me to try any other medium apart from watercolors or markers, so you can comment that also. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We are very close to 50k, and I'm eagerly waiting for my channel to turn 50k very soon. So thank you for all the love. Keep supporting, keep illustrating. See you all in part 2 of this illustration video where we do the garment. Till then, keep illustrating. Take care. Bye bye.